千里之行，始于足下。A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. Welcome to Tao Talks with Derek Lin, where we take a deep dive into the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. As always, I want to extend my welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. I would like to invite you to center your thoughts and direct your attention to this moment in time, to the here and now, to be fully present and mindfully aware as we are ready ourselves for this sacred process in the Tao with one another. This is the scale. It's abstract. It's meant to represent every aspect of the real world. You've got lack, insufficiency on the left-hand side. That's emptiness, nothingness. And then you have too much on the right-hand side, excess. In the middle, you have equilibrium, and that's the point of balance. So let's talk about knowledge on this scale. What is the lack of knowledge? Ignorance at the extreme. Well, it is all about self-deception. It's not just about being ignorant. It's about being willfully ignorant. Willful ignorance, usually due to fear. Fear, therefore, self-deception. This is true particularly when it comes to dogma. For some, it becomes necessary when they realize that on some level, they may be wrong. They reject that out of hand without wanting to see any evidence to the contrary. Basically, they don't want to know. Therefore, they refuse to look at information that would make the falsehood too obvious to ignore. Thus, the open hostility to knowledge. Thus, being aggressively ignorant. Not just ignorant, it's the next level beyond, it's the extreme version of ignorance. It maintains itself in that ignorant state. It can even manifest as pride in one's own ignorance. We actually do see that in our world today, where people would actively attack institutions of higher learning because they subscribe to this version of anti-intellectualism that points an accusing finger at universities or colleges as being out of touch, aloof, arrogant, elitist, and therefore to be completely rejected. So this is the extreme on the left-hand side. What is the extreme on the right-hand side? Any extreme is negative. So what would be excessive knowledge? That would be the blind pursuit of knowledge. This would include the scope of impractical philosophies. And if you're wondering what that could be, it would be philosophies like solipsism, that you cannot be sure anything is real except your own mind, and therefore, as you're hearing me talk about this right now, this could just be a delusion generated by your mind for itself. This is a known and studied philosophy, solipsism, but I'll just point out that it doesn't do anyone any good. You can talk about it forever. It won't add to your life. I'm very sure about that. There's the simulation hypothesis, one that says we could be living in a computer-generated simulation right now, and here are the reasons why. Again, you can go through all of those reasons. You can read up on it. It is not going to enhance your life. There are no real-world applications at all, but there are people who are very much into it. There's also people who delight in accumulating trivia factoids. They'll talk about things that are absolutely not applicable or have no use that one can imagine. They may say, listen, it's a fact. Women hiccup less than men. They'll say, it's a fact. A cat's jaw cannot move sideways. So all of these can be proven, all of these are true, but again, they add nothing to your life. They are oftentimes used for people who want to show off how much they know. Gets right back into the ego. Sometimes there are ideas that are in the realm of excessive knowledge that people chase after that fail upon contact with reality. What are some examples? Well, you only need to look at the many books out there that promise wonderful improvements for your life, but they don't always pan out. A lot of times, I see people try an idea or two from such books. They end up with little or no results or lackluster results. So they abandon the book and they chase after some other knowledge in some other book. That is also the excessive blind pursuit of knowledge. And just as extreme ignorance can manifest as pride in being ignorant, extreme excess knowledge, the blind pursuit thereof, can manifest as arrogance, like I know more than you do, that kind of arrogance. So in the face of these extremes, what is the Tao? The Tao is the equilibrium. The Tao is Tao-centric knowledge. It's practical. It is useful in real life situations. It is something to be applied in daily living. It isn't something that just applies to real life situations once in a while, like annual basis. It is something that you can use every day. It can be tested and proven in real life scenarios. And the better you get at it, the more you practice it, the more you become a wise person. That is, the knowledge that is Tao-centric turns into wisdom. So I want to leave you with this slide as the last slide that we covered today. This is important, and we will cover another example next time in similar fashion. It is always something that we want to keep in mind, that the Tao is always about that equilibrium, the balance in the middle. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.